What's up, guys? What's good, guys? Long time no see. We're back at it again with the full card predictions for UFC Perth, but this is the newly updated full card predictions. We'll see if there's any pick flips. We'll see how it goes. Hope you guys are having a great day, guys. Drop a like. No recap, no betting. Recap makes it a lot better. Let's just get right into it. 14 fight card. You know, at first I was a little upset that we lost Ibo Aslan versus Junior Tafa, but maybe it's a blessing in disguise, just like Rafael Fiziev pulling out against Charles Oliveira. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. There's a lot of things that happen, and in the heat of the moment, we think, fuck. But in reality, it could be a blessing in disguise, because having that as the co-main event could have been a parlay buster. I really like the way the card is shaping out. Even if it's only 14, even if it's only 13 fights, I wouldn't be surprised if we lose one more fight. The bout order has changed, and the Tafa brothers are... Justin Tafa's on the main card. Louis Sutherland versus Justin Tafa's on the main card. That is crazy. But overall, I think it's going to be a very good card, guys, so let's just get to it. Enough gish galloping, no betting recap, so let's take advantage of it. Brando Peričić versus Elisha Ellison is going to be the opener of this card. One thing I will say, guys, is that this is going to be a very interesting fight because of how much hype is on Brando. Let me get to my notes. Started up from the top. We have the odds now as well, so let's go. Brando Peričić versus Elisha Ellison. Brando minus 196. Elisha plus 152. Brando was a plus 185 underdog when the odds opened. 7 days later, he's a minus 200. Isn't that insane? I think that's insane, guys. That's what I love about the early predictions, guys, is that we get a little bit of an early insight. I didn't capitalize on the odds, but we saw the odd movement. In 2025... hype means nothing. Look at Wang. We saw Wang on Dana White Contender Series, had all hype from Korea, and he didn't even throw punches. Brando was a pro kickboxer. He's training at City Kickboxing with high-level training partners. Some people hate on CKB, but guys, I love CKB. Izzy, Kai Kara, Dan Hooker. City Kickboxing is the real deal. Iron sharpens iron. The gym and the people you surround yourself with make you who you are. Just like with friends, the friends that you surround yourself with are a good example of who you are. Paku's boy, Aussie. I always wanted to be a Kiwi. Let's fucking go. This is a banger matchup. Brando is 4-1, 31 years old. He was supposed to fight on Dana White Contender Series. Brando has had a documentary crew recording his journey to the UFC and overall. Brando has had troubled past growing up, and it's nice to see him turn it all around and get the ball rolling. I've been waiting for Brando to make his debut ever since it was announced that he was going to fight on Dana White Contender Series. Brando is jumping right into the UFC, skipping Ultimate Fighter and Dana White Contender Series. Brando has finished all 4 of his wins inside the distance. His only loss was a year ago by rear naked choke, but he has polished his game since then. He can get snatched up in a sub, but I'm sure he's polished his defense since then. He can mix in takedowns and is training at a City Kickboxing, matched up against Elisha Ellison. Elisha is a retired cop, does private security now as a side hustle. Elisha is a 5-1 overall, only 28 years old. His only pro loss is to Dave Pearson by submission side choke. He's aggressive, can get after you in the striking or even in the wrestling department. Elisha's working, competing, respect to him. You guys know I like the blue collar workers. Even if you just have a job like Jeff Neal, I believe Jeff Neal was working, I think, at Outback, and then he was fighting at the same time. So shout out to the guys that have 2 jobs as well. As seen with City Kickboxing, the takedown defense needs to be on point. I'm banking that Brando has been studying and polishing his game. The pick is going to be Brando. I was surprised to see Brando as an underdog, but guys, that was a week ago. Now he's a favorite. Makes me a little bit more confident, but I just see this, and I'm like, okay, I don't know about this. Majority of Topology going with Ellison. Give me Brando for the dub. Let's not let it influence our decision. Influence. Luana Carolina versus Michelle Montague. Luana Carolina plus 176. Michelle Montague minus 230. This is a very important fight for both ladies. A very hyped prospect versus someone who has proven to be UFC caliber. I love Luana Carolina. What I love about her, guys, is she got KO'd by Molly McCann. But ever since then, she's gotten so much better. And she's upgraded her game completely. And she was nowhere near the same fighter that lost to Molly McCann 3 years ago. Luana has proven to be elite. She's a striker looking to implement damage. She's a true technician. Luana is 11-4, 3-2 out of her last 5. She lost to Molly by spin elbow and Joanne Wood. But I think she beats both of those women now, considering how much better she has gotten. She's now on a 3-fight win streak, beating Ivana, Juliana Storilienko, and most recently, Lucy Podolova. We know Lucy was able to take her down twice, but who cares? Matched up against Michelle Montague, PFL crossover, 6-0. We've seen this before. She's long, uses her height and reach to her fullest advantage. She's a grappler with hype on her side, great wrestler with mixed with great BJJ. Wrestling and jiu-jitsu are not the same thing. Two completely different sports, so this is a great mix and alkaloid to have. I even like her nickname, the Wild One. Hey, I heard you were a wild one. Show me how you do. Closing distance and maintaining top control. Luana's a tough test. She's no walk in the park. The more and more I look at this fight, the more and more competitive it becomes. I think Michelle has a path to victory in the aggressive wrestling / jiu-jitsu style. Michelle Montague is the pick. 29-28 decision. I'm going to go money line. Let's go my girl Michelle. I'm going to call her Michelle because I believe I'm pronouncing her last name wrong. Jamie Mullarkey versus Rolando Bedoya. A banger, guys. The bout order has changed completely. Minus 113 for Jamie Mullarkey. Rolando Bedoya minus 113. Jamie did lose to Ruffy, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, Ruffy lost to BSD, whatever. I don't take that Ruffy fight into consideration at all because Ruffy was locked in against Jamie Mullarkey. Jamie Mullarkey has fought the who's who. At 17-8, I'm glad I get to watch this guy fight live because I've always enjoyed watching him fight, win or lose. Mullarkey is 5-6 in the UFC, coming off of a 2-fight skid, losing to Nazareth by TKO and Ruffy TKO'd him. Both of those guys are really good. Nazareth just beat Esteban Ribovics. And Ruffy, we know that he lost to BSD, but he's really good still. Jamie is 2-3 out of his last 5. He averages more than 2 takedowns per fight. He can eat one to give one. 6 foot, 74-inch reach. Sorry guys, I had to sneeze. Always plotting forward, matched up against Rolando Bedoya. I say this again, guys. I think Ronaldo's going to get cut from the UFC eventually. I feel like he's not UFC caliber. I don't know. I just feel like he's not. Ronaldo is looking to create chaos, find openings in the chaos. He's on a 3-fight losing skid to Chaos Williams, Kenan Song, and Jai Herbert. All losses by decision. If Ronaldo can't find the finish, he gets tagged over and over again. He gets picked apart from the outside. He is 5'11", decent takedown defense. He was getting picked apart by Herbert. Bedoya is tough. He's in a tough spot as well. I feel like he might get cut eventually. Volume versus volume. Jamie Mullarkey's going to be the pick, but that chin is made out of dust. You guys know. I said it last week. That chin is made out of dust, but give me Jamie Mullarkey for the dub. My bad, guys. My nose is runny. Jamie Mullarkey for the dub. Let's go, my guy. Let's go. Let me go up here so we can get up faster. Colby. Colby. I like the name Colby. I really do. Colby Thicknesse, plus 126 versus Josias Musasa, minus 162. Colby Thick, one of Alexander Volkanovski's training partners. Colby made his debut in an exciting fashion, guys, against Alexander Topuria 6 months ago. He did very good in that fight, especially considering he was fed to the Wolves early. It was fun while that matchup happened because Elliott Topuria and his bro versus Volkanovski and his teammate. You know, it was pretty exciting, and I liked how the rivalry continued. He can close the distance and grapple, looks to land a 1-2, decent striking, but he eats one to give one. Colby has 4 finishes, 3 wins by decision. Still time to grow, still time to improve each and every day. He can make things work if he finds openings. Matched up against Musasa. Musasa was a pretty big favorite last time out. He ended up losing to Carlos Vera by rear naked choke, but he was getting tagged up. He was getting hit by a spinning wheel kick. And Carlos Vera was having a lot of success, entering his flow state. And I don't know, I feel like Josias, you know, he needed that fight in order to be where he is now. He's only 26. He's a striker looking to implement damage. 7 KOs overall. 1 win by split decision. Always moves forward. He can land bombs if he's on top position. He headhunts heavy. Decent footwork. He lost to Carlos Vera. Struggled in that fight badly. Majority of Tapology is going with Colby. And this is what makes it a little bit tricky. But I'm going to go with my gut, guys. Give me Musasa. We still have time to let it marinate. I don't really like pick flipping, guys. I pick flip to from Joaquin Silva to Claudio Puelles, and from Jesus Aguilar to Luis Carril. I don't like pick flipping, but this is a fight where I need to see the face-offs. Give me Josias Musasa for the dub. Show me what you got, and that takedown defense better be on point, my guy, and that sub defense better be on point. Andre Petroski versus Cam Rowston. Andre Petroski minus 146, Cam Rowston plus 114. Andre was versus a Contender Series guy who fought 3 weeks ago now. One of Andre Petroski's best wins that I really liked the way he performed was the Rodolfo Vieira win. He He showed to improve massively, and he showed levels in that fight. Andre's a wrestler who has had struggles in the past, like questionable decisions, like shooting on Jacob Malkoon and then, hitting the hip and then getting rocked and finished. But it happens, it's the game of UFC. It'll be hard to go your entire UFC career without losing, especially in devastating fashion. He can control very well, land pepper shots as well. Andre is 13-4, 3-2 out of his last 5, looking to get back in the win column since his most recent bout with Edmund Shabazian. Edmund dropped Andre, but I like how Andre stayed composed and he showed durability. Andre was able to get takedowns on Edmund as well. Matched up against Cam Rowston. Cam Rowston is dangerous, guys. Very dangerous. Only 30 years old. Dana White Contender Series Week 2 he competed on August 19th. Cam Rowston lost to Taurus Finney, his first time out on Dana White Contender Series. And when I saw that he lost to Taurus Finney, that kind of made me underestimate him a little bit. But now I'm very well aware of who Cam Rowston is. He's long, 6'3", variety in his arsenal. He can get tagged, eat one to give one, and he can get wrestle fucked at times. But Cam is the hometown guy, and we've seen it at UFC Noche, guys. The crowd being on your side is very important. And just the crowd being on your side, having the heart of Australia on your side, can change the tide drastically. Andre is a tough wrestler. He has a path to victory in that department, just as long as he doesn't shoot on Cam's hip. I think Petroski should be able to win this fight, but he needs to wrestle. But guys, City Kickboxing is very good. Very, very good. I really want to go Cam, guys. I really do. I really do, guys. I really do. Andre Petroski is going to be the pick. Low confidence. He needs to work early, implement wrestling. Guys, Rong Zhu is a fighter that has been looking good and looking better ever since he's been going to CKB. And this is something that I just found out recently. I didn't know Rong Zhu was at CKB. But Rong Zhu has gotten so much better ever since being at CKB. And I think that just being at CKB alone can help Cam Rowston win this fight. Give me Andre Petroski for now. But this is another fight that I want to pick flip as well. But I'm going to go with Andre for now. Jonathan Micallef versus Oban Elliott. Jonathan plus 106. Oban Elliott minus 136. Jonathan has made noise in the UFC already. Jonathan is 1-0 in the UFC, but we've seen him on Contender Series as well. Jonathan is 8-1, 4-1 out of his last 5. His most recent loss is his only loss. He got TKO'd badly by Aldin Bates. Jonathan is primarily a wrestler, good one too, and he has a blasting body kick. He's on a 3-fight win streak. He just won a massive upset. He dropped Kevin, blasted body kicks, and he won that fight. He's not really a finisher once on top, but he learns to work. Matched up against the Welsh gangster. We know Oban has a massive hole in the grappling department, but like I usually say, he needed that loss in order to win this fight. He was taken down 6 times against Sung Young Ko, which wasn't too long ago. Oban is 12-3 overall, 4-1 out of his last 5. The hometown crowd plays a massive factor. Like I said last time, we saw at UFC Noche, Oban needs to start working early, and you need to start going early. You need to win the first round. Start engaging. Don't be afraid to engage because of the power or hesitate. Oban can enter his flow state when he starts just having success in the chaos. I'm going to go with my guy, Oban Elliott. Give me Oban Elliott for the dub. Let's go, my guy. Let's go. He's going to have to work for that one, though. Alexia Thainara versus Loma, Lookboonmee. I love this fight, guys. I really do. I'm surprised that they moved this fight more up the card. Loma Lookboonmee plus 190. Alexia Thainara minus 250. This is a good scrap. Loma Lookboonmee's like the little engine that could. The little engine that runs. Loma Lookboonmee's tiny, but she is a machine. This is why the UFC should create a 115 atomweight division. I said this last week. I feel like Loma Lookboonmee and a lot of women would have a lot of success. I mean, not 115. Atomweight division. I believe atomweight division would be like 100 pounds, I think. I don't know. I believe a little bit lighter than 115. Because Luma's very small, guys, and there's a lot of girls that are very small, that are too small for 115, but they have to compete at 115 because there's no other option. Loma is from Thailand, the art of Muay Thai. She's 10-3 overall, only 29 years old. Luma's only 3 losses are she got submitted once by armbar, lost a decision to Angela Hill, and most recently lost a decision to Lupita Godinez. She made her UFC debut in 2019, UFC on ESPN 20, Maya versus Arskin. Loma is a great striker, great volume. Luma's a Muay Thai striker, beautiful striking and wrestling entries. She's on a 4-fight win streak now, finding the groove at this time in her career. She beat Denise Gomes, Elise Reed, and Bruna Brazil. And guys, and most recently Estela Nunes. She also beat Sam Hughes prior to this as well. She does better when she's wrestling rather than when she's getting wrestled. On her back, she's not as good as I would imagine. Matched up against a true warrior, Alexia Thainara. Alexia sent Molly McCann into retirement. From what I've seen on Instagram, Alexia's hang out with Amanda Ribas, and she's a Brazilian. She likes to party. Alexia's light on her toes. She's dangerous, a front forward striker. At 12-1, she's 27 years old. And her only loss is to Bruna Brazil, which is actually very crazy because that's how you know MMA math doesn't always work. Because let's say Alexia wins this fight. Lookboonmee beat Bruna Brazil, but Alexia lost to Bruna Brazil, but that's why MMA math doesn't always work. She's on a 10-fight win streak, looking to create damage. She can wrestle, find submissions as well. She just made waves when she finally finished, when she finished Molly McCann in her UFC debut and she started twerking. Loma is fast and a small striker, and that speed and agility can be on her side. This is an excellent fight, and I don't recommend you skip this fight. You know, all bathroom break. No, this is an excellent elite fight, and I think that this fight is going to be a war. I'm going to go Alexia Thainara to muscle her way to victory. She has 7 wins by submission, beautiful rear naked choke, and a squeeze like an anaconda. Alexia by submission on points. Let's go, my girl. Let's go. But man, that's going to be a fun fight. I'm actually looking forward to that fight. I know a lot of people hate women's MMA, but I love it. Navajo Stirling minus 245 versus Rodolfo Bellato plus 186. Navajo is one of my favorite fighters to watch. I know Navajo has had a lot of hype died on him. You know, a lot of people thought that he was a lot better than what he is. But guys, we need to give him time to grow. Like Mansour Abdul Malik, like Atabak Tiar, like Umar Sai. We need to give these guys time to grow. You know, we can't just throw them in with the wolves. You know, it's better to let them marinate. He's light on his toes, Navajo. Navajo floats like a butterfly and he stings like a bee. He's not high volume. He can be a bit timid, but because he's a true technician, decent takedown defense, and he can stay composed very well. I love City Kickboxing. I think that they have a great team around them, and it just elevates everyone in that gym, everyone's level. Navajo has been facing more and more adversity, little by little, each and every fight, and it shows you he's still getting better at only 27 years old. Bellato will be matched up against Navajo. Bellato is 12-2-1. Heavy hands, looks to march forward and create damage. Bellato's only 2 losses are the same guy, Vitor Petrino. He does struggle with that left hook, struggles with setup strikes. He fought Paul Craig, and it looked like he was about to lose to that fight with Paul Craig. Bellato is the best fighter Navajo has fought to this day. Because of the decision wins and him struggling the last couple of bouts, it makes it a little bit more tricky, and I know that the hype has died down on Navajo, but I still think that he is who he is, especially with that fight with Tuco Tocos. I will always remember that fight with Tuco Tocos. He had to pull that out the fire in that 3rd round. In that 3rd round, he had to pull it out the fire in order to win that fight. That's why tape study is very important. The pick is going to be Navajo. I think he should show levels. I'm a Kiwi. Let's fucking go, Navajo. Put him out, put him out. Put him out, put him out. Hey. Now, Louis Sutherland, man. Bro, this guy's making his UFC debut and he's on the main card, bro. But I think this is going to be a more exciting fight than Ibo versus Junior Tafa. Because Ibo's not really, you know, he kind of dances. He kind of, you know, he lost 30-27 and he thought he won that fight against Billy Alacana. Plus 114 for Louis Sutherland versus Justin Tafa minus 146. Louis is a bouncer in a local bar from what I've heard. And that's something that I like to hear, you know. I like to hear that. You know, I like it when they have, you know, 2 jobs, you know, a history that I never knew about and I get to learn more about the guy. This is a good scrap. Like when you're at McDonald's and you see 2 big guys fighting for a place on the lineup in the order. I messed that up. This is a good scrap. Like when you're at McDonald's and you see 2 big guys fighting for a place on the line in order to order their food. Louis Sutherland has an interesting name. We should put a Big Mac in front of these guys. Put a Big Mac in the middle of the UFC octagon. And let's see who wins. A Big Mac, a quarter pounder. Put some Big Mac sauce on it. Let's see who wins this fight. Louis Sutherland has an interesting name. Louis is not coming from the Ultimate Fighter or Dana White Contender Series. He just is jumping right in there and he's swimming with the sharks early. Swimming with the sharks, swimming with the sharks. 10-3 overall. A lot of canceled bouts between his 4-fight win streak. He beat Renato by decision. Luis Carlos de Brito by KO. Dos Santos by decision. And he just beat Luke Newland by KO for the belt in his organization. Levels Fight League. Louis has 8 wins by KO, no losses or wins by sub, and 2 wins by decision. All 3 of his losses come by decision. He can manage range very well. Not the best with the wrestling, but he can work with brute force. Matched up against Justin Tafa. The only man to take down Tafa was Carl Williams. And guys, when I think about the Tafa brothers, they both have terrible takedown defense, guys. Usually with brothers, there's always one brother that's better at like a sport than the other. We see this with the Walker brothers, Johnny Walker, Walter Walker, Justin Tafa, Junior Tafa. There's always a brother that's better than the other at the sport and competing. Mo Usman, Kamaru Usman. We see this a lot. I think Olajaychik's brother, I forgot his name. Olajaychik's brother, I think he has a higher ceiling than Michael Olajaychik himself. Olajaychik's brother's going to fight Cesar Almeida. And I do think that, you know, with brothers, there's always one brother that is very good at what he does, whether it's in sports or whatever. Sometimes Tafa can get picked apart on the outside, but he goes to war, and he's here to go to war. He has good leg kicks overall, decent takedown defense, and he can throw down in the pocket. He's fast, 7-5 overall, massive red flag, because you look at his record, if I add 5 plus 5, 10, if I look at your record and you have literally 2 wins over the amount of losses that you have, massive red flag, but he did grow up in the UFC. He's on a 2-fight losing skid, losing to Carl Williams and Taliesin Teixeira by KO. Elbows and knees. The odds have Justin to win this fight as a slight favorite. He's 4-5 in the UFC. I believe that's 9 more fights than Louis in the big leagues. Louis can wrestle, and I think he can get him down at least once. Give me Louis Sutherland for the W, but guys, I feel like watch Tafa win this fight, guys. Like, this is a fight where it's so sloppy, it could be so ugly that Tafa could actually end up winning this fight. Tafa's the better striker, he's more powerful, but I'm counting on Louis to have a chin made out of granite, manage the range, and get the job done and start moving, light on your toes, and start wrestling, bro. Let's go, Louis Sutherland, for the dub. Let's go. You better wrestle, bro. You better wrestle. Because if you start pointing down like Max Holloway, I'm done. Here we go. Tom Nolan minus 162 versus Charlie Campbell plus 126. Leg kicks might play a factor here in this fight. Tom just walks forward and is just more susceptible to leg kicks. Opening up the main card. Not anymore, but it is on the main card still. I was excited for a 6-fight main card, but I don't think we have a 6-fight main card anymore. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we still do. We still do. Let's go. This is one of my favorite fights on the card. Tom Nolan, 91 overall, 25 years old, 6'3", 73-inch reach, 5 wins by KO, 4 wins by decision. His only loss is to Nicholas Mota, who KO'd him almost 2 years ago, but we got that back with Nazim Sadikov. We got that back in blood. My boy Nazim Sadikov got it back in blood for Tom Nolan. He's always a forward pressure, always gets in your face. Each one's a give one. He's not as defensively sound as I'd like him to be, but he's on a 3-fight win streak, beating Victor Martinez, Alex Reyes, and he just beat Slava Claus. Matched up against Charlie Campbell. He comes from New York, 30 years old, also on a 3-fight win streak, beating Josh by KO, Alex Reyes by KO, left hook straight right, and Trevor Peek by decision. Charlie has been cracked on Dana White Contender Series. Chris Duncan put his lights out. His hands are low. He picks his shots. Great leg kicks. Once on top, lands good pepper shots. This is an excellent fight. A striker's delight. And you better be prepared for that takedown from those takedowns, Tom Nolan. Because you know Charlie's going to shoot. The pick is going to be Tom Nolan. But Charlie might start chewing up Tom Nolan's legs. We know Tom Nolan's very susceptible to leg kicks because he just keeps on going. Tom Nolan for the dub. Let's go, my guy, Tom Nolan. I'm going to go by decision. Let's go, my guy. Maybe even by KO on points. I don't think he has one win by submission or loss. Red flag here. But I still think he should be able to win this fight. Let's go, my guy. Let's go. Now, this fight on the main card, like right here, I really don't think it's main. I don't know if it's really worth putting Neil Magny on the main card, but whatever. Jake Matthews minus 520. Neil Magny plus 350. Jake Matthews is going to make the crowd erupt, and I think that's why he's in the main card. Jake Matthews grew up with the UFC. At 22-7, the Celtic kid looks to extend his win streak to 4. He is 15-7 in the UFC. He made his debut in 2014, 11 years ago. He's on a 3-fight win streak at the pinnacle of his career. Phil Rowe, Francisco Prado, and Chidi Njokuani, which was by far one of his best performances to this day. He's going to need a grapple here. The way he shot, took the back, and he subbed Chidi was amazing. He attacks the body, mixes it up, and I love the way he's grew up with the UFC. Guys like Charles Oliveira, guys like, let's say, I don't know if this Austin Bashi, you know, he's very young. You know, guys like, a lot of guys that are very young that grew up with the UFC. Charles Oliveira, prime example. They get a lot better in their later stage of their career, such as 31. He's a matchup against Neil Magny, a true gatekeeper. Magny made his debut in 2013, and I always say this, guys, you know, I thought that they would, I thought that they would be matched up somewhere within the 11 years that they've been in the same division and fighting the top echelon of the division. Both of these guys have my respect. 35 fights already. Magny, 23-12 in the UFC, 35 fights already in the UFC. And he just beat the crap out of Zaleski. And he always finishes him in the same fashion, guys. With Mike Malott and Zaleski, guys, he flattens them out. And then he just finishes them with ground and pound. But Jake Matthews is not here for that. I like Jake Matthews. Give me money line, parlayable. I don't know if I like by submission on points or by KO on points. I don't like by KO or sub. Because Magny is tough. He is tough, bro. He is tough. I know Carlos Prates finished him. That's Prates. Michael Morales finished him. That's Michael Morales. But guys, Ian Gary couldn't finish him. And remember all those leg kicks. Maybe Matthews by decision might be a sneaky play, but no matter what, I love that double chance by KO on points or submission on points. Let's go the Celtic Kid for the dub. Let's go, my guy. Let's go. Jimmy Crute versus Ivan Ursulin, minus 204. Jimmy Crute, Ivan Ursulin, plus 154, guys. It's a banger scrap, guys. OMG. Another Jimmy Crute fight on the main card. Oh my gosh. A parlay buster waiting to happen. Jimmy Crute averages more than 4 takedowns per fight. Can't maintain top control if his life depended on it. And this guy was on the verge of being retired and then he came back. He got 1 win in 5 years. He needs way more better control. We've seen him do it better before, but he needs to get better. He's coming off of a submission win over Marcin Prachnio. Very nice armbar sub 1 month ago. Quick turnaround. We saw Alex Hernandez make a quick turnaround as well with a win. So quick turnarounds are very important, guys. Alex Hernandez just beat Bruno Ferreira. And he beat Chase Hooper. So that was a very good quick turnaround for Alexander Hernandez. Excuse me. Matched up against Ivan Ursulin. Ivan has power, heavy hands, blitz into his shots, decent footwork, marches forward, and looks to KO you. But Ivan Ursulin has yet to win in the UFC. The longer the fight goes, the more it favors Ursulin's opponents. Navajo was able to take down Ursulin. Ursulin is 0-2 in the UFC. Lost to Cutelaba in Navajo. Only 33 years old versus a 29-year-old. Jimmy Crute only has 1 win in 5 years. Jimmy Crute is sketchy. 1-800-GAMBLER type of fight. If the crowd is on his side, he does way better. Crute was retired at one point. Anthony Smith finished him. Who gets finished by Anthony Smith? But I think he should be able to wrestle Ivan to a victory. He has the subs as well. He showed it his last time out. But give me Crute for the dub, but very low confidence, guys. Give me Jimmy Crute for the dub. Low confidence. Low confidence. Look at this co-main event, man. Jack Jenkins versus Roman Tavares. Let's hope it's a banger co-main event. Jack Jenkins minus 330. Ramon. What is this? Ramen noodles. Ramon Tavares plus 240. Jack Jenkins minus 330. Jack Jenkins versus Ramon Tavares. Jack Jenkins, 13-4 overall. What I like about Jack Jenkins, guys, is he's gonna have the crowd on his side. Jack Jenkins is 3-2 out of his last 5. His most recent losses being to Chepe Mariscal, who we know gave Morgan Charrier a good run for his money, and Gabriel Santos. Jenkins is 3-2 overall in the UFC, 6 wins by KO, 3 wins by sub, and 4 wins by decision. He has deceptive power, always pressures forward, looks to implement damage. He can wrestle as well, 9 takedowns in the UFC. His takedown defense needs to be polished. Matched up against Ramon Tavares. Tavares is a guy who keeps this fight on the feet. Great takedown defense, athleticism, and speed is on his side. And you guys know me, guys. I love that rivalry that he had with Cerise City. You know, he lost to Cerise City, but he got it back. So, he lost to Cerise City by KO, right? And that's fine, right? But then when they rematched in the UFC, which was great matchmaking, Ramon won. Cerise City was leaking. I still think Cerise City should have won that fight. But hey, they gave it to Ramon, and that's one of his best wins to this day. And I really think that maybe he shouldn't have won that fight. So the closer that we look, maybe he could be on a 2-fight losing skid. He had absolutely nothing for Davey Grant, yada, yada, yada. You know, he was trying to look for the big shot. We already know this. If Tavares can't keep his footwork on point, if he can keep his footwork on point and he can have success, he can survive. But Jack Jenkins is the pick. I can see him setting up his strikes with his low kicks. Jack Jenkins is the pick by 29-28 decision. Let's go, my guy. Let's go. And guys, if it sounds a little bit, you know, like last week, it's because it's the same notes just tweaked up a little bit. Minus 245 for Carlos Ulberg. Dom Reyes plus 186. Reyes' comeback has got to be in a documentary. Even if he loses, even if he wins, it's fine. The fact that he was able to bounce back and get to this point is game-changing. For the amount of things that he went through, for the amount of times that he lost in a row, the fact that he's still here in a main event, I consider this a number one contender fight. A very important fight for the division. Guys, props to Dominic Reyes. Let me just blow my nose. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry. I should have muted my mic. Ooh, I seen this. Guys, this is going to be crazy, guys. I see this as a number one contender fight at light heavyweight. Number 3 ranked light heavyweight is set to face off against the number 7 ranked two-time former title challenger Dom Reyes. Carlos Ulberg has the longest active winning streak at light heavyweight besides the champ, I believe. Let me just exit out that notification. Sorry if the notifications are getting annoying. Carlos the Black Jaguar Ulberg. The Black Jag comes from City Kickboxing. A lot of guys from City Kickboxing, they either are going to have a lot of success or it's going to be a rough night for them. We saw David Martinez have excellent footwork against Rob Font, and footwork is very important. At 12-1, Ulberg's only pro loss is to Kennedy in Jekachu, a fight where he was caught off in an exchange. Ulberg is 34 years old. Excuse me, guys, for that. Former kickboxer, 7 wins by KO, and the fact that he's 34 years old means that he doesn't have that much time and he has to go. And 4 wins by decision. He's coming off of one of his best wins yet over Jan Blachowicz. Many say, oh, his last fight, he lost that fight with Jan, but I gave Ulberg rounds 1 and 3. I know he kind of dances around the cage. Uses the law, does it. Who else does it? Steve Garcia, he did it against Calvin Kattar. They both did it against Calvin Kattar because it tends to work against these fighters. Positive striking differential, 7-4, which is what I love to see. Great management of distance. He just doesn't have that power. You know that power. He has knocked out people before, like Alonzo Menifil, but he doesn't have that finishing, brutal, one-shot power. Great management of distance. He was beating Kennedy, but he got caught. Many call it running, but you can't just exchange with Jan. Match up against Dom Reyes. He's going to need that forward to be tough. Ulberg is going to need that forward to be on point. Dom Reyes went toe-to-toe with John Jones. Many will mention, guys, yada, yada, yada. We got to stop talking about that John Jones fight. Stop smelling the roses. How he should have got his hand raised that fight, yada, yada, yada. It is what it is. He didn't get his hands raised. Let's talk about what he can offer now. He has a good body kick. He lost to Jan to body kicks. He can be susceptible to open to those body kicks. We know Carlos Ulberg, Eugene Behrman, they're going to be doing their tape study, and they're going to be learning a lot of things, a lot of habits that Dominic Reyes has. We know he lost to Jan, lost to Jones, lost to Yuri by KO spinning elbow, and I take that Yuri fight to a T in consideration because he went to war with Yuri. He went to war. I don't think his chin did get cracked, but guys, look at that fight. He took a beating before he went out. This guy, one thing about Dom Reyes, guys, is he can go to war. He can bite down on his mouthpiece and accept, okay, we're going to throw down. Carlos Ulberg is not that guy. If he gets pressured, he gets a little uncomfortable. He prefers a little patty cake fight. A little pit-pat, patty cake fight. That's Carlos Ulberg. Dom Reyes, I'm going to war. I'm here to go to war. And those guys that are willing to go to war and jump into the fire, they have something different than these technicians. And that's what I think favors Dom Reyes in this fight. The aggressiveness, the sheer resilience of just wanting to go to war and throw down. And he's a great technician as well. Dom Reyes has a sneaky straight left hand. And the way that he can touch the body, touch upstairs, throw it like a piston, it just darts away. He won his last 3 fights all by KO. KO Dustin Jacoby, Anthony Smith, and he KO'd Krylov. If that left, or if Reyes connects on Ulberg, it might be lights out. I can see Ulberg getting hurt. We've seen him get knocked out by Kennedy. Guys, this is a banger fight. Dom Reyes does have beautiful footwork as well. He showed in the John Jones fight. He can get tagged and be susceptible to getting tagged, but guys, he's downloading data. To getting knocked out, considering he got cracked 3 times in a row, to be in this position is a massive accomplishment already. Carlos running backwards in point fighting doesn't always look good for the judges. Let's say he's running backwards the entire fight. We saw it with Elise Pierre versus Mansa Rendon. You know, Elise Pierre is running backwards on the entire fight, but then Rendon lands something. She's landing, she's moving forward. She's having cage control, she's moving forward. That's what the judges favor. I can see this fight being way more competitive than anybody expects it to be. I love this fight. Jan versus Ulberg, you can watch that fight, and you can watch the fight with Jan versus Reyes. Two completely different fights, but two completely different Jan Blachowicz. And that was a younger prime version of Jan that Dom Reyes had to face. If Dom Reyes can start working that left straight, leg kicks, even initiate his body kicks, his teep kicks, you can't just point fight against Reyes. You will have to get into his face and accept war. If you can run backwards all fight, it could lead you to getting caught. Reyes can get cracked all day, but he carries that power all 25 minutes. Something that Ulberg doesn't carry. Ulberg is not a finisher. I can see Ulberg winning all the way up until the 5th and then getting caught in a fight almost like Ian Machado Gary and Carlos Prates. Ulberg should put on a masterclass. Ulberg by KO on points. Ulberg to perform the way Imavov did against Kyle Barallo. Show levels. 9-4 for Reyes. 8-1 for Ulberg. This is going to be a banger fight, guys. This is going to be a banger fight. 9-4 for Reyes in the UFC. 8-1 for Ulberg in the UFC. The pick is going to be the Black Jag. Ulberg by KO on points. Maybe he could throw in a submission. Maybe, you know, he has a nice headlock. Guys, majority topology is favoring. Guys, look at this. This is what I love to see in the UFC. 50-50. I love this. I love this, guys. Give me Ulberg by KO on points. Ulberg by 48-47, 49-46, and 48-47 unanimous decision. Let me know what you guys think, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. God bless. A little bit of a longer video, but because we're doing it updated. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if I was a little repetitive. All criticism is appreciated. God bless, guys. We're on our way to 2,600. Peace. Hey, have a great day and a great weekend. Have a great week and a great weekend. Peace. Hey.